A man named John Jones entered a cave near Utah Lake with the intent of exploration. During his search, he decided to set a new record by squeezing through the tightest spot in the cave. Little did he know, this decision would be his last. Known as Nutty Putty, this cave's narrow passages were challenging, and he accidentally found himself in a part of the cave where no one had ever gone. It was as tight as a coffin, making even breathing difficult. Unfortunately, John got stuck upside down. This is the story of 26-year-old John Jones, whose last 27 hours were spent in this cave. Welcome back to another video on Michael TV. Near Salt Lake City, Utah, are small rocks within which lies the famous Nutty Putty Cave, first discovered by Dale Green in 1960. Since then, thousands of adventurous youths have come to test their skills. Nutty Putty Cave is known for its narrow and twisting paths, accessible only through a 30-inch wide entrance. Only those whose chest and waist are less than 30 inches can enter. Over 20,000 people visited to showcase their skills, but between 1999 and 2004, a few accidents raised safety concerns. In one instance, a 23-year-old was stuck for 7 hours, and in another, someone was trapped overnight. Due to these incidents, Nutty Putty Cave was closed in 2006. However, thrill seekers argued it should only be closed to inexperienced cavers, as they were often the ones to get trapped. Officials believed Nutty Putty was a ticking time bomb. After a battle between enthusiasts and officials, it reopened in 2007 with new rules. A management committee was formed to allow only experienced cavers with professional equipment inside. Permits had to be applied for 21 days in advance. On November 24, 2009, at 8 p.m., John Jones, 26, entered the cave system with his group. John and his brother Josh had some caving experience, but were entering Nutty Putty for the first time. The first hour inside went smoothly, as they explored the largest chamber known as Big Slide. It was at this point John and his friends decided to venture deeper into the most challenging part called the birth canal. This section was so tight that very few had ventured near it, despite the difficulty in locating the path. John, his brother, and two friends, being feet, decided to proceed while the rest of the team stayed back. The idea to reach the birth canal was John's, leading him to take the lead, crawling on his stomach through the narrow passage. He unknowingly took a wrong turn into a section called Corkscrew, meant for the thinnest cavers. On the map, this path led left when he should have gone right. As he moved forward, the path narrowed even more, making it impossible to turn back. He hoped for a wider section to turn around. Seeing a downward slope, John thought he could reverse from there. Unfortunately, upon entering a 10 by 18-inch passage, he encountered a dead end, getting stuck upside down in a space as tight as a washing machine. His head down, legs up, he was unable to use his hands trapped against his body. Despite several attempts, John couldn't free himself. He called for his brother, and soon Josh arrived, seeing only his brother's legs. At first, Josh joked about the situation, but soon realized the severity and panicked. Josh tried pulling John's legs, worsening the situation as John slipped further down. Stuck upside down and unable to move, both brothers realized they needed professional help. The issue was the lack of mobile signals deep in the cave. Josh had to exit and call 911, then return to John's location. 3 hours later, the first rescue team arrived. Led by Susie Motola, they tried freeing John for 2 hours but found him more stuck than expected. The space was so tight that even cutting John's jeans didn't help gain more room. Exhausted, Susie exited as more rescuers arrived, along with John's wife and daughter. They considered various methods to free John, including cutting his legs, but settled on using ropes and pulleys to pull him out. The challenge was drilling pulleys into the cave rocks without them breaking, as they could block the path. Despite the risks, drilling began, and rocks occasionally fell on John. Conducting this task 700 feet deep was both difficult and time-consuming, with only one rescuer able to work at a time due to narrow passages. Over 100 rescuers were now on site, but unable to progress. A doctor in the team made matters worse by stating John, upside down, had only 10 hours before organ failure due to blood flow issues. This revelation prompted rescuers to accelerate their efforts to upright John. Hours later, the pulley system was in place, and they began pulling John out, but his legs, unbendable in their position, hit the cave ceiling during attempts. With great difficulty, they extracted John partway, allowing a rescuer to see his face for the first time in 19 hours. He noted John's red eyes and a moment of relief. However, another jolt caused the pulley to fail, and John fell back into the hole. In a final rescue attempt, drilling around John ensued, but it seemed too late. John stopped responding. Despite his wife's efforts over the radio to rouse him, he remained unresponsive. As feared, Jan Jones was declared dead on November 25, 2009, at 11:50 p.m. His wife couldn't believe her husband had died from such a small mistake, hoping there had been an error in checking his pulse, but the truth was undeniable. Contrary to doctors' expectations of surviving only 10 hours, John's health allowed him to last 17 hours longer. Plans to retrieve his body included splitting it, but ultimately, the decision was made to seal the cave permanently, leaving John's body as a reminder of caving risks. Today, John Jones' body remains in Nutty Putty Cave, a testament to the dangers of cave exploration, marked by a plaque in his memory. Thank you for watching this video on Michael TV. Your likes and shares are appreciated. We look forward to seeing you in our next exciting video.